Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nur Adilawati binti Muhammad Sharif. My metric number is 272708. I will talk about disaster risk reduction (DRR). Disaster risk reduction is aimed at preventing new and reducing existing disaster risk and managing residual risk, all of which contribute to strengthening resilience and therefore to the achievement of sustainable development. Next, there are 4 of disaster risk reduction strategies that have been listed, which are disaster management, disaster preparedness, disaster readiness, and disaster response. Why DRR is important? Across the world, societies and organizations endorse humanitarian disaster risk reduction. The objective is to install measures for risk analysis, disaster mitigation, and preparedness to protect civil society and invest in capacity building, particularly in less developed economies.
Hi, good morning. My name is Aviation, mention number 27419. So I'll be presenting about disaster in aviation. So in aviation, the accident is an incident associated with the operation of an aircraft. It can take place anytime between the time any person boards the aircraft for flight and all such persons have disembarked, in which a person is fatally or seriously injured. So there are many factors that disaster in aviation happens, such as pilot error, mechanical error, or weather. So I'm going to talk about how do we prevent disaster in aviation. The first one is reduce likelihood or severity, which involves keeping a particular action, behavior, procedure, or task to a minimum, or implementing actions that actively reduce risk. This offers solution for risks that are impossible to avoid and also allows to gain some control over complex situations. So the second one is to avoid risk. To avoid risk is extremely effective in completing removing potential problem from aviation and also offers high degree of assurance of reduced exposure. So the third one is transfer risk to another party. Why need to transfer risk to another party? Let the subject matter experts to be the primary manager of relevant risk and also focus on risk that a company only has direct oversight. So the fourth one is distribute risk factors among companies. It simply involves distributing hazard mechanisms into separate locations, roles, or barriers, and it is an easy way to drastically reduce likelihood or severity of risk, and also it is easy to control. So there are phases in crisis management in aviation. So we can see the pre-disaster, warning phase 1, warning phase 2, and post-disaster. These are the phases of crisis management which is important to know in aviation. So the first one is pre-disaster, means all earlier preparation for facing an upcoming disaster. It includes all the activities that prepare the related parties to encounter disaster. So the second one is warning phase 1, we can call as interference phase, when the situation from pre-alert is showing higher risky hazard than the pre-disaster situation. So the third one is warning phase 2, which we call as crisis. Why it is the objective is to find ways to make emergency plan when there is a disaster happens. And the fourth one is post-disaster, which is we call as recovery phase. In this last phase, the remaining disaster condition is decreasing and does not give any impact to the airport operational activities. So the next one is how do we prevent natural disaster through disaster risk reduction? As we know, we can't prevent natural disaster with our own bare hands. So how do we prevent is through awareness, education, preparedness, and prediction, and also warning system which can reduce the disruptive impacts of a natural disaster on communities. This is how we can prevent disaster through disaster risk reduction. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hold on please. To ensure you guys gain more knowledge, we have come out with a game title of Surviving Disaster. Let's play and experience it now.